What's cracking, everybody? Felrose here, and the restless little babby with me. And today we're going to bring you guys an exciting shoutcast of some Master League Open battles featuring the new Glaciate Kyurem. You're just waiting to hit me, aren't you? Yep, there it is. All right. Anyway, thanks to my friend and faction teammate B Richley for submitting these battles featuring Kyurem. He's got a team of Landorus and Zacian in the back, running some pretty standard movesets here, but I'm really excited to see just how Kyurem does in the Open Master League, especially with a couple of powerhouse picks behind it. So let's jump straight into these battles here, Little Miss Jumpy Butt, and we'll see how this team performs in the Open Master League. Now, he said he went on like a 21-4 run with this team and hit expert with it on this in this video. So pretty exciting stuff. And now we've got a bad lead in the back, or in the lead here. We've got a Dialga, and they're staying in against the Zacian, which is interesting. Maybe trying to catch that close combat on something else. Chip it with an Iron Head. Don't know. We're going to find out quite exactly what's going to happen here. But before I forget, if you want to submit some battles to be shoutcasted on the channel, oh my god, that catch. Oh, that was beautiful. He caught the play rough. Look at that. Oh, that was great. All right. Anyway, if you'd like to submit some battles to the channel for shoutcasting, there's a link in the description for a form you can fill out. Please take a look, and if you'd like, I'd be happy to shoutcast some battles. Anyway, you're distracting. You're very distracting. She's smiling right at me. She knows what she's doing. This Giratina is going to get farmed down by the Kyurem. I don't know if they're going to be able to get to a move. Nope, not going to be able to get to a move. The Kyurem is going to farm it down and have a Glaciate ready to go against this Dialga, and then probably looking to dip back into the Landorus here. Now, Kyurem being primarily weak to things like Dialga in this meta, it's good to have two really strong picks behind it that are going to be able to tackle it. And now, because that Dialga has an attack debuff, they're basically forced to go for Draco Meteor here, and they can't bait with an Iron Head. So they're gonna bait anyway, though. And so then what's gonna happen is the opponent is gonna come in with what looked to me like a Palkia. Do you want to go to mommy? Yes, she wants to go to mommy. Bye. Yep, there's the Palkia. So not a great matchup for the Landorus, but a really good opportunity for Kyurem to load up on some energy. But B Richley's gonna go and shield up this Aqua Tail to make sure that he doesn't take a super effective piece of damage there and end up forcing the Kyurem to be the only thing left on the field. So Kyurem is probably going to have to close this out, but the opponent is going to let that go, and a debuff superpower is going to be looking to land on the Dialga. Now, I know this is Open Masters and everything's got a big, big deal, but because the Dialga is the only thing left, the Kyurem can come in and safely go for this Glaciate, and that'll probably honestly KO because it has some neutral damage. Now, for those who aren't aware, Glaciate is basically an Icicle Spear clone with a guaranteed debuff. So that's going to take out Dialga, and that's going to be a good first game there. Well played. In a horrible, really honestly hard counter kind of game, Kyurem able to come out on top because of that Glaciate. So we've got the exact same thing again. We've got a Zacian swapping in, and the opponent brings in their Kyogre, and unfortunately for B Richley, he does not have a... I don't know if you want to be on the camera. Never mind. No, you don't want to be on the camera. She's being cute and bouncing around. They're not going to have Wild Charge, though, to deal with this Kyogre, but the Play Rough is going to do enough damage, and I don't think a Surf will KO Zacian from here, so I think that B Richley could probably go and load up for double close combat and let this Kyogre have it. Nope. Probably, maybe he knows he's not going to get there. I don't know Master League personally, so this matchup is beyond me. Maybe he knows he doesn't get there, but that's going to take out the Kyogre, and that's going to be worth a boom. And now the Zacian is going to be able to get to the close combat just in time. Look who's back. What happened? Where am I? And the close combat is going to get a shield right before the Zacian goes down. That's kind of huge. Now, Therian Landorus is going to come in and go for some superpowers. I imagine they're probably going to try and load up on some energy first. Ooh, mommy has gifted me a bottle. You're going to throw it at me, aren't you? And here comes a Yveltal. You're so weird. Yveltal's going to tank a Stone Edge, and then the Kyurem is going to come in, and the Yveltal is basically going to have to go for a Focus Splash here to have any hope of taking this out. And B Richley says, I don't care. I'm going to let this go. It's just a Dark Pulse, and that's even better. The magical thing about Kyurem now is because of Glaciate having that debuff, it is able to debuff this Dialga, which is the last thing alive. And because of that debuff, it's going to be able to basically force this Landorus to be able to just cream the thing with superpowers. So the opponent is trying to farm down, but the Dragon Claw is going to force the final shield. And now we're going to see Landorus just come in and go for a superpower. Someone's trying to break in the room. Superpower isn't even going to need to happen because the mud shot... Hey, that was... Man, there's some hard counter situations going on here with these leads, but thankfully, B. Richley's got the skills to pull it off. And speaking of skills, this man is a coach in my patron Discord. He coaches for Master League. If you know how to get a hold of him outside of the Discord, then he does coach Master League, but he is one of the best players in Master League that I've ever met, and the man has helped so many people in my Discord with Master League. So just another incentive to be a part of that community. He does charge separately though. It's not included or anything like that. I'm not that well off. But the Zacian is going to get matched up now against a Dialga, and that's honestly just a really good matchup for Zacian. He's going to be able to go for multiple close combats with a shield. He easily outpaces. This is a pretty dominant matchup, even with shields involved. So the close combats are going to start flying pretty quickly here. I highly doubt that the Dialga shields at this point, and she is definitely going to hit me in the head with this bottle. Yep, getting real close to hit me in the head with that bottle child. Yeah, Dialga doesn't bother to shield, so they're going to have to go for another close combat in order to take it out. And this could be where the shields start flying, to be honest. So Dialga knows that they can tank one, and they're going to try and go for switch. Now, B. Richley goes for the close combat here, loses CMP, it looks like, unfortunately, and that is going to mean that he is going to just say, you know what, I don't need this thing. I'm going to farm down with the Landorus and try and get ahead of energy. And in comes another Yveltal, and honestly, you know, that's the nice thing about the Master League, right? It's such a small, condensed meta because there's only so many things that have been accessible. Like the most of what you're going to see is the stuff that's been in raids recently. So you're going to end up seeing things like Yveltal and Giratina, and obviously there'll be the Mewtwo, and there'll be things that have been accessible, but you're going to see some things that are not going to be quite as accessible. So for example, you know, you're not going to see a whole ton of Palkias. You're not going to probably see a whole lot of anything that hasn't been in raids within the last 6 months or so, because obviously they're now making this huge push for us to basically have to play out in Open Master League. So Kyurem is going to swap in to try and catch the Yveltal off guard, but the opponent is having none of it. And they're going to bring in their Zacian to take this Glaciate, but now this actually provides a very nice farm down opportunity once again for the Landorus to land a superpower against this, the opponent undercharged. Excuse me. Going to provide an opportunity from the... I can't speak today. An opportunity for the Landorus to farm down, but the opponent undercharges the close combat, loses that matchup, and also loses the game thanks to Kyurem getting to those moves quickly. Now, Kyurem is hugely improved here, having Glaciate, because it's not basically forced to go for Blizzard in order to KO something. So, this is a really good matchup. The opponent's going to swap out, and this is another unique thing about Kyurem, is it's the first Pokemon that we've got in the Master League that has an actual debuffing move. I can't think of anything. You know, maybe there's Buzzwole, which we featured last season. It has Lunge, but it's not on the same level that Kyurem is, because Kyurem is having that Ice typing. Ice is just a really solid type offensively in the Master League because of all the dragons and some of the flyers, and just there's not really as many steals because of Zacian. You notice that there's probably not very many things like Melmetal or Excadrill in the Open Master League. Zacian just kind of core breaks everything. So the nice thing about Glaciate is it's a cheat move. It's the same energy, again, as Icicle Spear, has the same power, but has that debuff, which is just insane. So now I'm pretty sure that the Zacian can just go for a straight farm down here. Kyurem has done its job, and thankfully, because the fact that Zacian has the play rough, it's going to be able to hit really hard against the Giratina if it decides to come in here, which it will be greatly to be Richley's favor if it does, but instead the Metagross is going to come in, and you are just an upsetty little girl. What is going on with you? What's wrong? Oh, you just want to get around and bounce. You're so weird. So Zacian can go for double close combat here. The opponent is going to catch the second close combat on the Giratina, which is an amazing catch on their part. And Landorus is going to have to do everything all by itself now, because the Zacian is getting pretty low on HP thanks to the double debuff bullet punch it took, and a Stone Edge is not going to be enough to take it out. But with two shields, this should be a pretty easy matchup for the Giratina to lose, because going for a couple Stone Edges here should, I believe, be enough to take out the Giratina. So B. Richley is going to overfarm, make sure that he's got enough energy to handle the situation. Not going to go for the Stone Edge as soon as he gets it. There's no reason to. Stone Edge is almost going to take out Giratina. Going to go for the next one here, and now that he can shield up this next move, as long as he's going to not. He's going to call it. He's going to go straight for it and say, this is an ominous win, and he calls it. What a Chad. What an absolute Chad. Going to go for the Stone Edge with a shield. This is pretty much a game over at this point. Landorus should easily be able to get to a move here and take out the Metagross. The superpower is probably enough, but just for the sake of it there, he's going to try and go for it, and the opponent concedes at the same time. So, well played, and Upsetty Spaghetti over here doesn't want to sit in my lap anymore. So we get a really bad lead with Zacian, and unfortunately, I don't think that there's really a good way to go about this. I think you just go, you shield up. I guess, yeah, I don't know what you do here. I really don't know what you do here. I have nothing built for Master League. I know nothing about it.
That's
but
why he's
exactly. That's exactly why B. Richley is our Master League specialist and I'm not. You want to talk about Ultra League? I got you, fam. But if you're talking about Dialgas and Kyurems and stuff, I got nothing. I don't know nothing. Yeah, I know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. But there's a Melmetal. Speaking of not very many steals, the opponent's got a Melmetal. And you know what Melmetal does? It just tickles. Melmetal just tickles. And B. Richley's going to be able to aim a close combat right at the face of this Melmetal and almost one-shots it. And you know what? I'm just going to flip the button because I haven't hit it in a while. That's good enough for me. Probably going to just have to let this go. Now, they're going to go and get the Rock Slide off. So the opponent's Melmetal is not going to be able to farm down for another move. And you are all over the place right now. What are you doing, silly girl? You're not a boy. You're definitely a girl. Well, what the... Gonna go for close combat here. Looks like the opponent's running a quick attack Zacian, which is interesting. I like both. It looks like B. Richley here is obviously opting for the Snarl version. As the safe swap, it gains energy much more quickly. Zacian with quick attack is probably better as an opener, I would think, because that's going to allow it to get that farm down, as opposed to, you know, getting energy very quickly. So that Glaciate does quite a bit of damage, and he's going to be able to get to the next Glaciate. I think that was a CMP tie. Before the Zacian is going to be able to fire off another move, and now they're forced to make a decision. Do they want to shield or let it go? And they let it go, and there's a Dragonite in the back, and you know what Dragonite doesn't like? Ice. So Kyurem is going to go for the Dragon Claw and is going to lose CMP to the Dragonite. But this is a very interesting situation now because I don't know if a superpower is going to be enough to KO this Dragonite. So we're going to have to build up to the Stone Edge, I imagine, and go for a superpower. Or just go for back-to-back superpowers and just pray that it works. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm thinking he's probably got to go for a superpower bait and then go for that Stone Edge. The opponent doesn't even shield. They didn't even shield. I got no words. That by all counts, that should have been a shield. But you know what? That's all right. I think that I don't think he would have been able to get to another one anyway. The opponent was at the move anyway, so that was still well played. It was as close as you could have gotten. Good lead for B. Richley here. The opponent brings out a Xerneas, and this is extremely interesting because I've never seen a Xerneas on the field before. Or have I? I don't even know if I've even seen one on the channel before. But we're going to find out how much damage this Glaciate does, and then we're going to pop in with Zacian. Now, Xerneas is basically like Zacian, but with Tackle. And that means it's got close combat, it's got Moonblast, and I don't know if it has Wild Charge as well, but I know it's got a pretty diverse move pool. And with Tackle's buff this past season, I think it was a season prior, it's a very strong Pokemon. It just takes a little bit to get to those moves, but that Moonblast hits hard, and he gets the attack debuff, and that is just not ideal. So now I believe the Zacian is going to, he's not going to no-shield this, he's going to just call it, and it's a Moonblast, and let's see, Moonblast, it does okay, it does a decent chunk, but now the opponent could definitely farm down. Now, I'm not sure if the opponent was trying to catch there. This looks like it could be Giratina double Fairy. Xerneas being the safe swap here, but they're going to tank a whole play rough here, and I think that he can get to another move, but instead, B. Richley is going to swap straight back into the Kyurem and look to farm down. I don't know if he's going to be able to shield this. Like, yeah, you get to shield the Shadow Ball. And then look to farm down the rest of this Giratina and have moves loaded for whatever comes back in with a Glaciate ready to go. I don't know if that's going to KO the Xerneas from where it was, but it's going to come close. And the Xerneas just threw its energy as well, so it pretty much has no energy. Opponent comes back in with the Xerneas. Perhaps they're weak in the back to the Glaciate Kyurem, and we're going to see what they've got in the back unless they shield this up, which they don't. Never mind, they survive it quite nicely. But the attack is so low that he could even go for a Dragon Claw probably and KO the Kyurem, or KO with the Kyurem against the Xerneas at this point. Kyurem is a Fairy counter confirmed. And now we're going to see that there is another Fairy in the back. It is a Zacian, and the nice thing about this is that not only is it the last Pokemon alive, so the Glaciate debuff is going to stick permanently until the end of the battle, but Landorus pretty much hard walls for the most part Zacian. Resists close combat, resists Wild Charge, and Play Rough only does neutral, and that's only if they're running. And they are running the Play Rough. but it costs more energy. So we're going to go for a play rough of his own here. B. Richley is looking to hopefully get this last shield. Hopefully the Stone Edge is going to be enough. The opponent shields it up, and they're going to come in with the Lander. It's going to get to a Stone Edge. Doesn't even need to worry about shielding, and that is going to be a good game. Well played to both trainers. Coming up into this next battle, we're going to have Kyurem on the lead versus Terrakion. This thing core breaks the team because the Landorus does not appreciate it too much, but they're going to swap straight into Giratina. The opponent should probably not have done that, but they don't really know that What are you doing? They don't really know that the Zacian is running play rough, but they're about to find out the hard way. But this is the one thing that probably doesn't want to see Kyurem, so it makes a lot more sense for the opponent to swap in their Giratina here. But being able to go for this play rough before the opponent can get to another move, that's going to take a lot of HP off of the Giratina and probably allow the Giratina... Ah, God! That was painful. It's going to basically allow the Giratina to... I lost my train of thought because you slapped me. Look, Shadow Ball just takes out... Almost takes out, wow, with 1 HP, this Zacian is going to get off close combat and attempt to flip switch here. And that's going to be huge because Landorus is going to enjoy this a lot. But the opponent shields up, gives up their last shield to get switched. Kyurem's going to farm down, and then he's going to swap into his Landorus, and hopefully Terrakion does not have an answer in the back. Nope, the opponent has a Meloetta in the back. This is spicy. Are they running Quick Attack? What is that? I guess Quick Attack Meloetta? I don't know, I couldn't tell. It wasn't Confusion. I'm used to seeing them run Confusion. What are you doing to me? You are just being a booty head. Boing, boing, boing. What a goofball. Stone Edge is going to come out against the Meloetta. Maggie's going into prison, and now she's going to scream at me because she sees this open. What? Oh, you want the remote. Okay, she's going to watch Disney now. Rock Slide is going to do neutral damage, but Landorus is going to be able to get a superpower off against this Terrakion, and now it's just a matter of how much damage does the superpower do. Just about one-shots it, and here comes Kyurem to get the Dragon Breath down, and that is going to take out the Terrakion, and that is a good game. Dropping ourselves into this next game, we've got a Zacian lead. Terrible for Kyurem. Probably going to have to swap or something. Nope. Staying in to get the energy. Going to shield like the last time, I expect. Opponent stays in, goes for the Glaciate, and now this might be an opportunity to swap out with the Zacian and try to get out of energy. No, the Mad Lad is staying in. Oh, he's going to catch the move. He caught. Could be a play rough. Caught the close combat on the... Oh, that was great. That was a beautiful catch. Ahead on energy, caught the energy. Play rough's going to come out against the Giratina with good timing here, and now... The Zacian, B. Richley is, look at this. This dude's an absolute Chadicus, all right? He's beyond Chad level. He is Chadicus. That is like levels beyond Chad play here. The opponent is going to go for a move. It looks like the Zacian is not going to shield here. That's a Shadow Ball. Doesn't quite KO. B. Richley's going to be able to go for a close combat to try and make the opponent think he's got to play rough. Does the opponent fall for that? Nope, they don't. They know it. Oh, well, you're kind of bouncy. I don't know what you want me to do. Oh, she's a sad baby now. Make up your mind. As Kyurem is going to try and get some farm, go for the Dragon Claw, force the shield off of the opponent here, or take the matchup here. Doesn't even KO. The opponent comes in with Dialga, and they've got a Therian Landorus is ready to go. Gonna go and build up to these superpowers. Easily can shield up this move. It's just an Iron Head, but kind of has to shield at this point. And the opponent, Zacian, in the lead is going to be a tough thing to overcome, but let's see if B. Richley can handle it. I have faith in him. He can definitely do it. Let's see what happens. He's going to go for the Stone Edge against the Dialga. Is that going to get a shield, or is that going to be... Against the shield, that's huge. Gonna go for the superpower now that he's got it, and I'm gonna get the button ready because I think this actually kills it. KO is incoming, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. Takes out Dialga, and that's going to be able to let the Zacian come in with low energy. Now, with one shield, he's going to have to go for the Stone Edge before the Zacian can get to a move. Beautiful, beautiful gameplay here. And now, the Stone Edge is going to be able to take out, almost take out, I should say. He is going to have to go, and he's going to no-shield it. This Mad Lad's no shielding. Because he knows the Kyurem can handle it. The Zacian was a double nuke Zacian. Now the Kyurem's going to come in and has to shield this move. But thankfully, I think that Giratina was well within farm range at this point. Close Combat's going to get a shield. And now the opponent's going to go down to 1 Dragon Breath. And that's going to be a good game. Very well played. That was a battle right there. That was something else. Kyurem into Giratina. This is the lead you want to see. You just need to make sure the Landorus kind of stays off this thing, and the Zacian's going to come in, and I'm going to bet that he's going to try and catch a move here. So Glaciate is going to go off here. The Zacian is over farming on energy because it kind of has to. If it goes straight for the close combat, it could kind of screw the rest of its matchups up. So the Glaciate's going to come out, and once again, B. Richley's going to try to catch that close combat or play rough on his own Zacian. Beautiful move there. Once again, play rough is going to get caught here and not going to do that much damage thanks to that debuff. And a play rough from B. Richley would probably be enough to KO at this point. And winning CMP, play rough is going to come through. Does it get a shield from the opponent? We're going to find out. Play rough does not get a shield, but the opponent hangs on with just a few HP. That's like 2 HP right there. And now the Zacian is going to tank a play rough of its own, but because the debuff has plenty of HP to tangle with this Giratina and get at least a play rough off against it and force a shield or do big damage against it. Now this is one of those situations where I think that was good timing. I don't know if there was desync. I don't think that was supposed to. I thought that was supposed to be. I don't know. Oh, that was a CMP. I didn't know Zacian wins CMP against Giratina. You wouldn't think so, but it does. All right. Another one of those things about Master League that I just don't know. Opponent no charges very smartly to get some extra farm in there, but Kyurem's going to come back in here, and Kyurem is going to force out a Melmetal, and Landorus is going to come in knowing that they can flex all over the Melmetal, and that's going to be a good game. Man, I wish I could speak as fluently as I think, because my thoughts are in 40 different places, and my brain or my mouth can only go one way at a time, and it's going forward. Tongue twisters, man. That's why you're here, right? You're not here to listen to me actually talk. You just double ABA steal. All right. Here comes Zacian, ready to just rip shields off of this person's team. The opponent running an ABA steal comp. I don't understand the reasoning behind something like this, but if you're crazy enough to do it, I suppose if you meet Zacian, you're going to have to pay the price. So this person must have a game plan for Zacian. B. Richley tanks the drill run, doesn't need to shield it, is going to let this close combat fly. He's got enough for another close combat after just one more snarl. Close combat gets the second shield. Opponent can just get B. Richley can just shield the drill run and easily get to another close combat here, and that wasn't even CMP, but it looks like he was sucked into it anyway because the game is just in a great state as always. But anyway, guess what? One-shots that poor little Excadrill, and Alugia is going to come in and just farm down. Now, looks like a really good situation because the Landorus is now lined up against the Melmetal, and the Glaciate Kyurem is going to be able to handle this Lugia pretty nicely, even though it's taking super effective damage from the Dragon Tails. The Sky Attack's not going to do a ton of damage, and an Aeroblast is what they would need to KO, but there's no shields left. The attack has dropped. The opponent's going for a move. B. Richley decides whether or not he's going to shield, and at the last second decides to throw up a shield. It's the Aeroblast. It's a beautiful shield. The opponent brings in a Melmetal, and at this point they are completely screwed, but they're probably running Flash Cannon, which means it's going to do quite a bit of damage. So B. Richley needs to get 2 moves here. Rock Slide is going to come through. That is not a Flash Cannon. Double Superpower, looks to overfarm and not get the debuff, and that was actually really smart. He overfarms on purpose because he knows it's going to be CMP otherwise, and now he doesn't have to tank an extra move or extra damage from the move from the debuff from Superpower. So that was a very smart play by B. Richley. Superpower is going to clap the cheeks of the Melmetal, the tight iron cheeks that it has, and the second Superpower is going to come through. The Lugia is definitely going to farm down, but because it just threw that Aeroblast, there's no way that it's going to be able to get to a move. B. Richley is going to go for a Superpower that is double resisted, but you get the chip damage you can get, and hopefully Kyurem is going to be able to either farm down or get to a Glaciate, or even a Dragon Claw at this point. The opponent gets to a charge move. Is a Sky Attack going to do enough damage to take out this Kyurem? No, it's not. Kyurem hangs on, gets to the Glaciate, and that is going to wrap this game and this set and this video all up in one nice little neat package here. Getting the Glaciate, taking out the Lugia, and that is going to be a good game. B. Richley going on, and again, that was like a 9-1 streak there. Able to hit Legend, or not Legend. Man, soon. He's going to hit Legend soon. No, he's able to hit Expert rank there, and trust me, the man's a Master League genius. He's going to hit Legend soon anyway. But Expert rank is now his, and he is looking to get Legend after this. So thank you all so much for catching this video. Maggie's busy watching Disney movies. So I'll say goodbye to you guys in her stead. So thank you all for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.